So, we're back in Manchester. It's absolutely hammering it down. This truck's got an engine and an exhaust system problem, so we'll jump in the cab, see what's going on. Right, let's see what we're rocking today. What have we got? Engine malfunction, exhaust system malfunction, and check oil. Awesome. We'll slip the old VCI in. Let's see what we're dealing with. So we're in Euro 6. Now we've got engine and exhaust problems. Let's jump into engine first. Fuel pressure sensor, valid data but below normal operating range. After treatment fuel shut off valve, no response. Fuel intake control, pressure sensor, valid data but below normal operating range. And pressure control of the injection rail, very slow rising. So all these faults are attributed to fuel pressure. So we'll have some fuel pressure monitoring. I think we'll go with fuel relative, absolute, rail pressure. Let's have a look. Required, real, engine RPM, yep. Engine speed. So we've got engine speed here. We've got low pressure fuel circuit. Real and required on the fuel rail. We'll go and start it up. See what she does. Well, in reality, she's not doing a lot, is she? 1.4 bar, 1.6 bar here. Not enough. So we potentially got a blockage in our low pressure fuel circuit. We should be seeing 6 bar here, really. So we're missing 4 bar. So now we'll play the game of where's my 4 bar fuel pressure. We'll start at looking at the filters, I think. We'll fire the cab over, see how we get on. So this is what we're dealing with. For a start, our hand primer's up. That's always a good one. So we'll screw that down first. See what she does then. Right, so the truck's running. We'll just reconnect to it. See what fuel pressure we've got on the low circuit. Still 2 bar. So what we'll do now is we'll plug the old Truck Tech UK fuel pressure gauge in. And we'll put this in line between the feed from the tank and the hand primer. If this is a massive negative draw on the gauge, this obviously means that there's a blockage and it's sucking as hard as it can, but it just can't get the fuel through. So we'll start here. So that's the gauge in line. Let's see what digits this is doing. So we haven't got a massive negative draw here. So there's no pressure loss there. I'd say that part of the system is fine. So we'll just take this off here. We'll reconnect our fuel pipe. Let's get this in on the fuel pump. So now we're teed in between the bottom of the hand primer and the feed for the lift pump. We'll see what vacuum or negative pressure this is doing now. So now we've got no massive draw really from the fuel tank and the hand primer. What we'll do now is we'll measure the pressure coming from the lift pump up to the fuel filter. That's our next step. So now we've got our fuel pressure gauge fitted in on the top side or the pressure side of the pump. We'll see what pressure this is doing. So now we know we're making pressure on the low pressure pump side of things, but it isn't seeing it up here. That can mean only one thing. this filter's blocked. So we'll get these pipes off here, get this filter changed, and then we'll see what it does on gel test. Well, both these pipes are off the bottom. I'm going to take this time to change the fuel filter. That's interesting. This should now drain out the bottom of the fuel pipe. As you can see, it is. And we'll check the fuel filter. So we'll just fit the new fuel filter. That's on and down. We'll change this seal here. So now we've changed our main fuel filter. Let's see what we're doing on gel test. So now we're doing 4.6 bar, 4.8. So it's pretty much 5 bar. We'll just bump the revs up to 1200 RPM, see what she's doing then. So she's doing 8 bar now. And we're doing about 8 bar at 1000 RPM. So yeah, I'd say she's pretty good there, to be honest. I'll let her go. But yeah, the fault was the main fuel filter was blocked. So we're back in Manchester. We've got a DAF CF. Night heater fault this time. So we'll get our VCI plugged in for gel test, which has been supplied by Eclipse Diagnostics. We've got powers, grounds and CAN. That always makes me happy. In order to talk to a night heater, one must have power to the night heater. So we'll just hit this up with the old auto VIN identification. So we've gone into our truck, which is a PX7 Euro 6 CF. And the only thing I care about is the night heater. There we go, additional air heater. Let's connect to this. I've turned the system on. What's she doing? No flame detected during starting stage. So we've either got a fuel supply or insufficient airflow. The exhaust is clogged, faulty flame sensor, or a faulty glow plug. So let's see what it's doing. So we can go into measurements and we'll just do system display. This gives us everything that we need to see for our night heater. It's currently pumping diesel. The flame state is on. So as far as I'm concerned, this night heater is now just shut down. So as you can hear, the fuel pump's pumping. But that's not a very good combustion, is it? So now we know the night heater's most probably never been serviced and we've got that turned off. We better find the night heater, which is here. Our old air-to-air unit. We'll clean that up a bit, but it's not exactly blocked. We'll be having this out. So that's our old glow plug. This is our new one. We'll get that in a minute. What we need now is to get the gauze out of it. Hopefully we can get the gauze out of here. I could really do with a smaller pick to do this, to be honest. After much struggling, I managed to hook this out. Thanks to my XL Back Pro pin holders, which I put a hook on. You'd think I'd just have a hook in the toolbox, but no, I didn't. So I've got that out. That used to look like this. So let's get that in there now. Now, there is a hole just at the front here that needs to be cleaned off. We'll get that done now and then get this in. So to get this gauze in here, that's it. The tool sets it at the right height. And then we want our new glow plug, which is here. Get that in there. Do. Alright, let's plug this back in. Put the cover on. So that's our cover. On. We'll just clean this out. We can screw this back on. Is she going to fire now? We'll just reconnect to the system. Go to measurements. got a system display. Now, let's see what happens this time. So now it's running and staying running. Our heater capacity is going up. Our dosing pump is on and our glow plug is now off. So it started, it's completing combustion in the combustion chamber and our heating capacity is going up to what it should be. Brilliant. She's still smoking a bit, but I think it's just burning off the excess fuel. But the good news is, it's actually running. As you can hear, this is now going absolutely crazy. And this is roaring out the exhaust. And it's putting out loads of heat in the cab. And loads of smoke by the looks of things. Not the longest video, but a nice use of the manual fuel pressure gauge to identify a blocked fuel filter, and a night heater service. I just wish they still fitted these old night heaters. But that's about it for this week's video. As always, if you don't want to miss anything from me, hit the old subscribe button. If you've enjoyed this week's video, please give it a like, as it really helps the channel, and I'll catch you next week.